cold cases to serial killers, missing persons, and more.
100% he did this.
I'd go off into fantasy world.
How much more lucky can you get that you're not on death row?
You want to know what we know.
My name is Jay. This is Guilty of Crime.
Well, hello everybody. I had this scheduled for tomorrow. So Rosie, you're a rock star. I think you're like the first person here. What's up, crime crew? Let's see. As people start to roll in and realize that I'm actually scheduled for today. Hello. All right. Hit the like button on your way in. Let's help with the algorithm. And today we're putting Sebastian Rogers back in the spotlight. Now, I know I've got a lot to cover on Maddie and Jen Soto, a lot to report back on, and I will do that. I'll get back to that tomorrow. There's a lot of content out there, and there's a lot of content that I have that it's ready to go. Now, Sebastian's been missing for almost 6 months. I'm going to pull up an article in a little bit, talk about at the 6-month mark, Seth Rogers planning to have like a vigil or a gathering for him. As we know, he's been doing quite a bit of PR with that Tony Mathis guy. So today we're going to talk about Sebastian, and we got to get him back in the spotlight. And remember, as his 6-month comes up. What's up, CJK? Thank you guys for coming here without any notice. I scheduled it for tomorrow on accident, but really it's today. And what's up, Nancy Robbins Journey? I'm glad that you're here. And I hope you're going to love the show and the content that we provide here. So hello to everybody. It's good to see you all. And Marilyn McRae, what's up? Amy Cray, hi. Manic Mama T. Man, you guys, how are you doing here? Tiff Knox is in the post office line, but she's here. Lady Justice, what's going on? Good evening. Rosie, my thoughts. I still think his mom had something to do with it. I'm glad that Rosie, I'm glad that you're here because in my opinion, Katie holds a key. After we do the update today, we're going to go over the Chronicles of Olivia and we're going to review that and we're going to compare that interview to what we see with Jennifer Soto and the other mothers that we think have done something or parents that are involved. What's up, Adam? Good to see you. My dedicated people are here. Which she's a Cint Cerber, Ola, Marissa, Lynn, Moonbeam, Brenda. All right. So I didn't have anything scheduled today. It was on accident. It was scheduled for tomorrow, but you guys are showing up and I didn't want to leave little Sebastian in the shade. So I had this scheduled for a while. And I want to make sure it got to you. Savage Barbie, always a pleasure. Overprotected 111, say a prayer for Sebastian. All right. Yeah, honestly, I don't know what to believe about why he left, but definitely Katie Proudfoot knows more in my belief. And today we're going to listen to the latest interview with Seth Rogers as he talks about Katie holding responsibility in having Sebastian and him being with her last. You hold responsibility in the way that we are holding responsibility for Jen Soto. And what's up, Rosie? We're holding responsible Jen Soto in the fact that she's Madeline Soto's mother and she is accountable for her daughter. Now, when you have your child in your custody and you're taking care of them, then you are responsible for if they don't come home from the Texas Roadhouse or whether they disappear from their room. It's your responsibility to lock the door. It's your responsibility to make sure those children don't go out with other children in the middle of the night. It's our responsibility. Kara says, I'm so convinced Katie's a rotten potato. She knows where the poor boy is and is in a hiding place. So, I want you guys to please be careful with this case too much. Yeah, no, I'm not trying to eat it. I'm very careful with this case. I'm not trying to spread lies, hate, or drama. I want to make sure that I report on the facts and don't leave Sebastian out in the cold, in the dark, not reporting on him. Now, there is some updated information, and this comes with Court TV asking, is anyone searching for Sebastian? still. And if they are, we want to go into what's happening, what Seth says without the drama. We're not going to go into the drama. We're going to go into facts here. So I have an article I'm going to share with you about, well, Sebastian went missing on February 26th, 2024. And it's coming up on the 6-month mark. So in this article, he talks about his disappearance with Seth, and August 26th will mark 6 months. So we're going to talk about what's going to happen at the 6-month mark. Hello. Yeah, no, I don't want any drama. I just, I have so much to report on Maddie today and in the coming days, but I didn't want to keep pushing Sebastian out and forget about him. So, I could have 600 people in chat or 700 people in chat by reporting on Maddie. And yet I just can't do that. I can't just leave. Yeah. Okay. So maybe it was the 25th. I know Maddie and Sebastian went missing the same day. Thank you. I know she's good people. Yeah, they are definitely. And I love you too. What's up, Wolfpack? Good to see the crew. All right. Sadie's mama, always good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're feeling good today. All right. So yeah, Sebastian kind of forgot about it, seems a bit. Now, this was in Hendersonville, Tennessee. August 26th, which is in 4 days from now, will mark 6 months since Sebastian has been reported missing from his mother's Sumner County home. Now, the 15-year-old with autism went missing on February 26th. Now, this sounds familiar, and we just listened to Maddie, Jen Soto, talking about Maddie having autism, but yet I still don't quite believe that. And what level? Kara says, yeah, Jen Soto, both these women need to be arrested, but I realized they would have done that, but don't have quite enough, right? It's good to compare the two and compare and contrast and look at the interviews. And Sebastian does deserve our attention. Maddie does too. However, we have to split some of our time, and we cannot just, spend all of our time on one case. And I already had Sebastian scheduled when I had to push it out for the Maddie case. So that being said, now authorities have scoured Shackle Island, the area and beyond, in hopes of finding Sebastian. To remind people of his disappearance, Sebastian's dad, Seth, will hold a vigil for his son later this month, which will be in a few days. Maybe he'll do it this weekend. All right. So there are people who still don't know that Sebastian is missing, Seth Rogers said. There are people that still don't know about Sebastian, and I want to bring some more awareness to the community I live in the community around Nashville, that my son is missing, and I need the public's help to find him. All right. So now I'm gonna try not to get into the Seth drama, but the benefit ride for Sebastian will take place on Saturday, August 24th. So you guys, I was correct in my assumption that that's happening this weekend, and that's why I wanted to report on it today. All right. So what's up, Tiffles? Today's the 22nd. 24th is on Saturday. Lady Justice says barely anyone in Kentucky has heard of this case, which is a shame. It's a shame. The Maddie case is international. So, again, thank you all for that did join today. Very late notice for me. I thought I scheduled this for today. So they're going to do a ride at the Fallen Brewery on Jardco Drive in Clarksville. A prayer vigil will be held after the ride. So say a prayer, make a moment of silence for Sebastian right now. Organizers are asking for a $25 donation per rider, which will include a custom shirt, bracelet, and a meal following the vigil. Organizers said the proceeds will go to Michaela's Mutt Motel, a veteran-owned and operated dog rescue in Clarksville, to celebrate Sebastian's love for animals. It says we used animal therapy when he was younger, when he lived in Kansas, and he really likes to take care of animals, Seth Rogers said. No new developments have come in the search, so Rogers said he wants to bring in the Cold Case Foundation to help in the search for his son. He has to clear his name first. So we're going to talk about this because he's not cleared. He's actually not cleared, even though he says he has an alibi. Seth Rogers is not cleared. I don't think anybody's been cleared as a suspect by law enforcement in the case. His spokesperson, which Tony Mathis, we won't start getting into that, said that protest will be held outside the Sumner County Sheriff's Office on, now it's Monday, August 26th. So they said Saturday the 24th in one article, and then the next it says that. Interesting. Sweet and salty, what's up? All right, let's stop this. And hello, everybody. So who do we think aided in Sebastian's disappearance? Well, aiding in his disappearance versus being responsible for his disappearance are way different things, right? So being responsible for your child and making sure they get home, let's say from the Texas Roadhouse, may be different than Katie being responsible for it, or Chris being responsible for it. So I'm still on the Katie being involved and Chris being involved. And I want you guys to hear some of this. Was it on the mom's? It was on the mom's watch. It was on Katie's watch. Katie saw him. She was the last person to have seen him. And Graciela, that's what we're going to talk about today. That's what we're going to talk about. And this is a newer interview. It just came out 4 days ago with Seth. Let's play a little.
Sebastian Rogers was supposed to be inside his home sleeping. His mother, Katie Proudfoot, says he went to bed at 9, but was making some noise around 10, including a thud sound. Katie told him to go to sleep. She went to bed at midnight. Then at 6 a.m., Katie woke up. She went to his room to get him ready for school, but Sebastian was gone. She searched the house, and he was nowhere to be found. Sebastian's stepdad, Chris Proudfoot.
All right, so who's responsible for that, folks? Who's responsible when you have your child and they're in the house and then they go missing and they never come out of the house and we never see any video of them? Who's responsible? So, I don't know, hit that like button. We're going to work this out together. We're still looking for Sebastian. We're keeping him in the spotlight. Chris Proudfoot wasn't home, and Sebastian's father, Seth, was at work. So why are we still talking about them? What is it that we think? Now, Lady Justice, for Justice's mother is typically the one held the most responsible due to her being just a mom. It's her job to protect, but she also had Sebastian out that day, and she had a lot of things going on. And yeah, suspicion holds high when I hear these interviews and, I heard a thud, and then all of a sudden, not clear details. So let's listen some more about what they think about Chris.
Was not home, and Sebastian's father, Seth Rogers, was at work about 45 minutes away. Police responded and began trying to figure out what happened. That was February 26, 2024. And as the days, weeks, and months have passed, still no sign of Sebastian, no sign of foul play, and no answers about what happened. Did someone harm Sebastian, or did he just walk away? We're searching for answers as we investigate the mysterious disappearance of Sebastian Rogers.
Now, this came out 4 days ago. Seth came on the show. He's not supposed to do interviews anymore unless he gets paid. We're going to hear him clear this up a little bit about what he will do and why and what energy he's got going on. So what's up, support with Stefa? Good evening to you. And lovely chat as always. Thank you guys for being here. Short notice, as always. Chris is dirty too. His alibi is very weak. Yeah, it's so interesting. I definitely think Chris wasn't home, but he knows more, and Katie doesn't talk when Chris is around. So let's get into this a little more, and don't forget about Sebastian, please. I know there are a lot of other cases that are on the forefront, but when I first covered this case, it's just as important as that day.
6th, 2024, in the area of Stafford Court in Hendersonville, Tennessee. February 26th. That's the last time he has been seen. So what's going on right now? We profile missing children all the time, every night. So my question right now is anyone still searching for Sebastian?
Okay.
Let me bring in my special guest, someone I know is still searching. Sebastian's father, Seth Rogers, is with us, and also.
All right, keep in mind, folks, this is 4 days ago, so this isn't old or anything. This is not like some, now later on, it's not some retread or whatever. I want to keep Sebastian in the light. Again, please like to get in the algorithm, share, and subscribe if you haven't. I want to make sure that we're keeping him in the light. I mean, it's only going to be 6 months now, and it's like we're already forgetting about him. We're already moving on to the next thing, and that happens in social media. Sunshine, I don't think they ever brought him home from getting ice cream. This will probably compare to the Wells case. Yeah, and that means if it compares to the Wells case, that we're not going to have any answers for a long time. Veronica S., you made it to another live. Hello. And you get to chat tonight because it's not a huge 600-person crowd.
Also joining us, the Rogers family spokesperson, Tony Mathis. Thank you both for being here. Appreciate the opportunity to speak with you and the opportunity to speak about Sebastian. Seth, let me begin with you. Is anyone still searching for your missing son?
I am. I have a private investigator that's still working on it. She conducts her searches in private. She has her own volunteer base. We're not going to stop until we find it.
Let me ask you this, Seth. Outside of what you are doing, is this search still?
All right. So, Rosie, that's a good question. We're going to answer that right now with this interview. And yeah, get a better camera, Seth. Jeez. The mother and stepdad seem shady, in my opinion. Yeah, we've extensively looked into them. And today we're going to watch the Chronicles of Olivia video after this. So you can look at it again with fresh eyes and compare to Jen Soto and other parents that have been found not credible in the past.
Active. Let's talk about law enforcement.
From my understanding, law enforcement is still searching. They're doing it privately as well. They're checking in on tips when they come in. If we get tips, we pass them on to them. Same time we get them.
And how is that part going with tips? Are people still providing information when they come across things? And what are your thoughts about?
We still get information. I mean, we still get emails every day. We have a tip site that is up. I put that up. It's a valid tip site for anybody who wants to email or call, wants to be anonymous or whatnot.
Tony, I wanted to bring you in the conversation. This is a difficult situation. And I understand the onslaught of public attention that this has gotten. And sometimes that's a big positive in keeping Sebastian's face in the public and getting people to know who he is and think about him. And if they see something, hopefully say something. But obviously there can be downsides as well. How is all of this publicity, from your perspective, impacting the search for Sebastian?
All right, so we're gonna get some. I'm not particularly a fan of having this guy as. First of all, I don't know about having a PR person on this case, and I'm not sure if they're doing more harm than they are good. So you guys let me know in the chat what you think. If you think they're doing more harm in this case, I mean, I'm covering this case and I have people warning me about the case. So it's really interesting that people don't want to cover this case anymore. And when they do, it's all drama. So I just want to put the spotlight on Sebastian quickly today and not get into the drama. But I want to know what you think. If you think they're actually helping by doing this or if it's hurting the case.
Well, we don't really believe that any of the media attention, social media attention, any of that is really going to impact what law enforcement's doing one way or another. It does impact the father, that I represent, Seth. We thank all the creators out there that continue to keep Sebastian's name out and do it in a positive way. Our message to most of the media attention, more social media than mainstream, is that, we ask that you cover the case in a positive way. If you choose not to do that and back away, that's okay too. But any
And it's really not okay to back away from this at this point. Being almost 6 months in, I feel like they can still do some good. You say every every kid needs a PR person, but they better be getting his name out there, right? I feel like they're being more self-serving in this case. Even Seth, when I hear the drama that I'm not going to bring in today. Also, if I have a PR person that I'm paying a bunch, please don't have your bed in the background. Please, let's not do this. So, yeah, there's 2 creators at the Raw, each other's names, hard to get any facts right. Yeah, I think all the attention is keeping it alive. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Sophie, what's up? You became a member. Thank you for becoming a member.
positive support that we can get for Seth while he's looking for his son is a big deal for us.
And Seth, I know that during the course of all of this, there have been some potential leads that became very public, including a photograph of someone who seemed to resemble Sebastian at a rest stop in, I believe, North Carolina. How are you holding up through all of this? And where's your level of optimism right now?
I have faith. I have hope. Sebastian's alive. We just got to find him. There is nothing else. Just finding Sebastian.
See, when I hear this from Seth, it's hard to not have sympathy for him. Rosie says, here we go. It's hard. It's so hard for me not to have sympathy for this guy. And then people report back to me about the things that are going on in this case. And it just blows me away. It blows me away, all of the content creators and all the rumors. And I try to swipe that away to remember that he is a father. And when I originally came on here, I said, please don't say anything bad about Seth in the chat. Let's keep it nice. Let's keep it neutral. But it's really hard now to not listen to that and let it seep in. But I do want to remember the spotlights on Sebastian. That was not Sebastian in that picture, folks. It was not Sebastian. And hello, Melly. What is up? Carly, Wolfpack, Jojo. I don't know where Bree is, but she's probably around here somewhere. And Petty Mason, I think, is off doing something with hidden crime or hidden gem or whatever. Hidden true crime, sorry.
Tony, I wanted to get you in on this as well in terms of as a family spokesperson, do you feel that there is still the same level of, I guess, commitment from everyone, the community, law enforcement, media, to make sure that anything and everything is done to find this missing child?
Well, Benny, I think that it's our job to keep his name out there in the community. All of our job on Seth's team, and of course I represent just Seth. It's all of our jobs on his team to keep the community engaged. We continue to have events, have vigils, have gatherings, keep his name out there. The media, mainstream media, such as yourself and many others.
I want to know what you think. Does anyone think besides his father, and there probably are other people, who thinks that Sebastian is still alive? Maybe they took him somewhere. Maybe they sent him off to a school. I don't know. In my opinion, just as I'm not a police officer, obviously, but through the perspective of a police officer, every day cuts the chances. In my opinion, they're probably looking for a body, but I don't know. Let me know what you think. Crazy Lemon Tart says, hello. I love that name. Crazy Lemon Tart. This bananas. Yeah, this case is just bananas. Yeah, I mean, if this was my child, I wouldn't want to think that, but I probably would be a realist, and I also wouldn't want all that drama out there. It'd make me very upset. So I try to see it through Seth's eyes. I even see it through Katie's eyes, but the way I see it through Katie's, she's hiding something.
Have been very good and very helpful. It's very easy to get interviews if Seth feels up to doing an interview. I think the X factor for us is law enforcement. I think that the communication, it's been a bit lacking, at least as far as Seth and I are concerned. we don't really know what it is they're doing. We have faith. We heavily back the blue. Of course, Seth is in law enforcement. I live in Oklahoma. We strongly back the blue in my community. But, the question that I always ask that we still haven't got an answer to is, just simply tell Seth, are you any closer today to figuring out what happened to Sebastian than you were on February 26th? And quite frankly, we feel like that's a very fair and logical question. We have not got an answer to that.
That has to be absolutely excruciating. By the way, folks, as you watch, you'll see on the bottom of your screen numbers and places you can contact if you have any information.
And I don't know if that's actual footage of them digging through the trash remains, the place where they dumped the garbage. I don't know if that is that, but I know they've done extensive searches, and they wouldn't be thinking of doing searches like that if they didn't think that they were looking for a body. So yeah, Lady for Justice, it's hard to back Katie Proudfoot if she's being dishonest. Now, we don't know if she's being dishonest, but I mean, I just don't, I for some reason, Seth I have empathy for him in the way that he talks and how he comes. Now, if he's being fake, that's another thing, but Katie thinks that she's so clever, and I think a lot of us see through a lot of the stuff that she says and doesn't say, and that's just my opinion, so Marissa says he's either passed or kidnapped, sold by mom into trafficking. I can't imagine a good outcome. Yeah, definitely not a good outcome when they're searching the waters and the dump sites.
Seth, how are you holding up? I'm always concerned about you going through this. I've spoken with other parents through the years. I got a strong sense from them what it can be like. How are you holding up?
It's more like 1 minute at a time, 1 hour at a time. It doesn't really seem like it's been 5 months. It's just you lose track of time. I mean, all you're doing is thinking about the next place to go look, what the next thing needs to be done, and just trying to stay positive, trying to stay focused on finding my son and what's the next step to do.
What's been the biggest frustration for you so far in the search?
Not getting much in terms of information wise. The last thing that I was really informed of by the sheriff's office is they don't have anything stating that he left the house. And that's
all right. So this is where he's going to come in and point a finger at Katie again. It's been many times that he has pointed a finger at Katie, and then he'll back that up with, "Oh, I'm working with them again." And so it's hard to know where his mind lies, what he's thinking, who he's backing. I can't imagine being a parent that's missing a child, so I don't know how crazy your mind can go. But I mean, he's backpedaled a few times on that. Again, I don't blame him. He's backpedaled a few times and been on Katie's side, and then now he's back at Katie's responsible for him. She was the last one to see him. I don't think he left the house. So I don't know. I don't
pretty
know.
much, that's it. But obviously he's not there, or else we wouldn't be looking for him.
Yep.
There's no sightings. There's nothing. Just one move. Things just don't make sense. I mean, we're talking about, first of all, we're talking about a male child that left his house with nothing. A teenager that left the house with nothing. No phone, no switch, possibly no shoes, no backpack. I mean, completely unprepared. That's
no money.
It's not how he leaves the house to go somewhere.
Yeah, no money, no nothing. He didn't have anything. And that's what I think boggles us the most, is that he had nothing. We never saw him. Nobody ever saw him leave the house. And not only did they not see him leave the house, but the dogs tracked him or tracked it to the pond. And thank you, Randy B. Please smash that like button. I should start talking about Madeline Soto and playing Jen Soto's audio, and we'll get like 700 people in here. All right, just kidding. The spotlight's on Sebastian, and thank you for the people that are here. Please do hit the like button, share, subscribe if you haven't. Yeah, Cheryl, I agree with you. It's a possibility. It's absolutely a possibility. I still think Katie's responsible for making sure that he was safe that night.
More with me? I don't expect him to leave anywhere without his phone and way of communication in case something happens. It's just too much doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. Seth Rogers, Tony Mathis, stand by, stay with us. When we come back, we have another question to ask tonight. Was Sebastian's mom the last person?
Investigation. It has not gone to a place where anybody has forgotten about him or is not pursuing this. The parents have been cooperative throughout the beginning of the investigation. They have pretty much done whatever law enforcement has asked of them.
That's TBI, talking about the case of missing 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. So parents are cooperating. Now, his situation, his parents aren't together anymore. So his mom, he has a stepfather, and he has a dad. And they were all in the same area when all of this was happening, the same general area. But I want to play you something, which was an interview that was done with Sebastian's mother, Kitty Proudfoot. Her and her husband sat down.
And they're just going to play a fraction of it. This isn't very long, but I do want to play that after so you guys can see and we can kind of deception detective it for a little bit and keep Sebastian in the spotlight, because I don't plan on reporting anything unless something comes up after this. It's not going to be a while. Like I said, unless something big hits in the case, I'm not going to just come on, just like I'm not going to do with Maddie. I just said that last week or the week before last. I wasn't going to be reporting on Maddie unless something came up, and boom, it hit. The audio was released and it's all over the place. So yeah, I agree with something else going on in Tennessee, but yeah. And Cheryl says, you're not Katie. I'm saying I agree. You say I agree with Jay. She's responsible. I still believe he left because he was told to. Interesting. I can get down with that theory. I can definitely get down with them fighting and her telling them, get the hell out of the house.
With the YouTube channel Chronicles of Olivia, and she explained the last time that she saw Sebastian.
He said, all right, good night, Mama. Good night, puppies. Love you. He went to bed. He was doing something in his room because about an hour later I heard some noise and I was like, I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep. And about midnight I got up and I went to bed. And 6 o'clock I went to wake him up for school Monday morning. And that's when he went in here.
So Sebastian went to bed. They're in the same house, different parts of the house. She heard a thud noise but didn't go to see him. But what was going on with that alleged thud noise, and who was with him? Was there anyone with him at that moment? Or, bringing me to my next question, was Sebastian's mother the last person to see him? Was she the last one? Was there someone else that came to the house that night? Or is there some other story? Our guests are still with us. Seth Rogers, Sebastian's father, and Tony Mathis, the family spokesperson.
And right, this is just a tiny little clip. We're going to play this after so we can really pick apart what she's saying with zero emotion. We sit there and rip Jen Soto apart, man. Like, we tear Jen Soto to shreds, and she deserves that. But why aren't we looking at Katie? Why isn't law enforcement looking at Katie closer and saying, what is she saying? What is she not saying? Wait, what? And 111, folks. So say a prayer for Sebastian. Let's keep him in the spotlight, even if it's just in our minds and on our page, please. Yeah, Kate does go on if nothing has changed without knowing where her son is. And she just took off out of that house, folks, and went and moved in with Chris. So it's interesting how that works. What if Sebastian came home? What would she do? She wouldn't be there for him.
Seth, from your perspective, I know you've listened to every potential piece of information that's been available in this case, that's been made available. To me, that thud noise, I've always thought about that, what that could have been if it happened, right? What are your thoughts about Sebastian's mom? Do you believe she's the last person to see Sebastian before he disappeared?
I'd say yes. I mean, he was in her house. She's the one that put him to bed.
No.
She'd be the last person to have seen him.
What do you think about that thud noise that she described, the rustling that was going on? I thought about it. I've looked at the house. He's lit. His room is on the first floor, right? So his window is accessible from the outside.
It would be, I believe, but I know law enforcement went around the house and stated that none of the windows or screens had been tampered with.
Before
No, I think that too, Moonbeam. When someone knows somebody's not coming back, it definitely is Jen Soto, Stephen Stearns esque, right? It's like you don't call and ask and hello, Petty Mason, good to see you. You don't call the other person and ask where are they, what happened, unless you know that they're not coming back or they're gone. So it's thud. I mean, we're going to listen to this after only because I really want to listen to Katie and break that down with you and just hear some of the unusual details and spotting subtle lies in her statement. Just the way we got to give her the same credit that we give to Jen Soto, in my opinion.
As for the thud, I mean, I don't know what she would classify as a thud. If I heard something in his room that would, I know I'd go check on him just because I want to make sure he's okay. I mean, he's got a medical condition that would definitely mean I need to go check on him just to make sure he's okay.
And have you spoken with his mom about that night at all? Have you had any sort of conversation, either just the two of you or with other people there?
I've not had a conversation with her just alone, and probably won't.
Ever.
Why is that?
Because every time I want to speak to her, I'm going to have to speak to Chris. Chris wasn't there. I don't know why he needs to be involved in the conversation about what happened that night. And if he was on a phone call, then maybe he should even tell us what the thud was.
How about the rest of the day leading up to the point that...
Yeah, isn't that weird that she didn't call? And I'm not even going to say weird. It's suspicious that she didn't call 911. And she didn't call Chris. I mean, she didn't call Seth. She called Chris, and then she stayed on the phone with him for hours. I mean, what's happening here? If my child was missing, I wouldn't even think about calling the other parent until I called 911, and then I'd call the other parent, and then I would be out of my mind. But I definitely wouldn't leave. I wouldn't leave and go move in somewhere, and I don't even know. Like, suspicious is a light word for what I think about Katie and Chris.
Sebastian got home, who was the last person other than his mom to see him? And have you spoken with that person?
No, I guess the last person to see him besides his mom would be, the waitress at at Texas Roadhouse.
And Tony, as we try to track and figure out who interacted with Sebastian, where he could have gone, how this could have happened. From your perspective, what are the lingering questions that you see in this case as well?
Well, if you're talking about that situation specifically, Vinny, I mean, clearly she was the last person that was seen with him. There has been no evidence that he ever left the house on his own. So in my mind, what would be the opposite of him leaving the house on his own? It would be leaving the house with somebody. Well, the only somebody, admittingly, by Katie that was in that house was her. So clearly we have some questions there. But my bigger question as Seth's spokesperson.
I want a big rack of ribs, Adam. Sorry. Don't talk about steaks right now. I haven't had dinner yet. All right. Hit the like button, everybody. Don't forget, as you roll in, we're starting to get people in here now that I I'm rolling. I definitely said I was going to be on tomorrow. I don't know what's wrong with me, but it's been a week, hasn't it? It's been a week, folks. It's been a week. Yesterday was almost like 2 days in one. It was like 2 days in one because we had that Madeline Soto thing that just drained us so much. Not Madeline Soto didn't drain us, Jen Soto, and the audio. And man, like I filmed, or I was on for 4 freaking hours yesterday. Yeah, Randy B, LOL. I was on for 4 hours. So I did almost 2 hours on my channel. And in between the 6 o'clock transition with Duty Ron, we talked for like 15 or 20 minutes. So I was on from 4 o'clock until 8:15 last night. And man, what's up, Sue? Because I'm here. Everyone came on. That's why, Sue, bring everybody on. It's time to come join the fun. And now people are talking about ribs. That's funny. And thank you, Marilyn. I appreciate that. I was a little bit nervous going on Duty Ron. He's an OG. He's definitely an OG. retired detective, and I was a little bit nervous on what to say. So, yeah, thank you. Oblivious Benson helped me prep for that interview. So thank you to Oblivious Benson, Obi Daddy, Uncle Jay's in the house, like she likes to call me. All right. All right. Thank you, Dee Dee. And yeah, now I'm hungry too. I want some ribs or some steak. Savage Barbie is a savage. All right, let's keep going. We're going to listen to this because they're teasing us with this. I had to bring it to you and hang out with you guys today a little bit. And hopefully we're not so angry as we were yesterday after hearing Duty Ron say, you know what? That's not going to happen. Jen Soto is going to be charged with something. Here's the charges and here's what the amount could be. So let's hope that's the case for Katie, because listen to her fumble.
And where I would ask Court TV to give us some assistance is, we have video evidence that shows that Seth was at work. We've had all of his electronic devices that have been seized and dumped. We'd like to know why Seth still hasn't been cleared, or what they might need from Seth and or myself to get him cleared.
So they have not cleared. I didn't realize that. I just didn't realize that was the situation.
Isn't that weird that they haven't cleared Seth? They haven't cleared Seth, but they haven't ruled anything foul play yet. And I say yet because, I wonder if they ever are, or they're just going to just let Sebastian go missing. And Moonbeam, you missed it. I know you did great. You're natural. Well, thank you, Moonbeam. You should go back and watch it. It was pretty freaking good. And thank you, Rosie. I saw you guys all in chat rooting on the Guilty of Crime channel. So thank you. I appreciate that. It helps the algorithm and helps me get more subscribers.
Situation. So
not at all.
So my guess is if they haven't cleared him, that may explain some of the lack of communication that is going back and forth in this case.
Good possibility. But what more do you want from me? I was at work.
All right. So he says, what more do you want for me to clear me? I was at work. He's a corrections officer, and you can't fake the funk when you've got cameras and you're out of jail. Now, the guy on the right that's talking, his name is Tony Mathis. Seth Rogers hired a PR person, and that's a little bit of a whole other story, but that guy's name is Tony Mathis, and he's a public relations guy. Thank you guys for being such good chatters and chiming in and answering the questions. Carrie says defensive. So the evidence says he just disappeared. Yeah, aliens did it. He disappeared. I think that UFO came up with when the lights were flickering and stuff. No, he didn't disappear. Nobody disappears, folks. Nobody disappears. What did the Queen say? Queen's, preferences be rib over pork. And then Adam says, that's a good assessment. You guys are so funny. I shouldn't have got you guys started. All right, got to go for a bit. Start 9:30. See you later, Graciela. Good to see you. Thanks for supporting the channel. Don't forget to hit the like on your way out. All right, let's keep going. It's interesting. Seth didn't get cleared yet.
Video camera from 6 p.m. till after 7 a.m. the next morning. My son should be with me right now. He should be in this house, and I should not be looking for him. Tell me where I don't gain anything from this. This is not funny. The fact is I'm looking for my son. He's not here. Y'all took my electronics. What more do you want? I mean, do they need my bank records? I mean, you can have them. I mean, I don't understand what I have to do to get cleared.
We're willing to do anything to get cleared, Vinny.
Go ahead, Tony.
There are resources.
What?
Yeah, we're willing to do anything to work with them to get him cleared, because it does allow us to bring in more resources once he's clear. And if the video evidence, the phone data, and whatever else they may need isn't enough, then we'd simply like us to tell them, why is it that he hasn't been cleared? He did a polygraph test with a well-known FBI.
Absolutely.
So now we know, and we knew Seth did a polygraph. He didn't pass. I thought it was neutral, folks. Please tell me in chat. Jay, he fired Tony. No, he didn't. This was 4 days ago. Let me answer Carrie's questions, and then Queen of Ossian, or how you say it, I don't know. He did not fire Tony. This was just 4 days ago. So I'm not playing old stuff right now. I just haven't got to this for 4 days because Maddie has consumed us, rightfully so. Carrie says, is it possible while Seth at work, he maybe said too much to an inmate or pissed one off, or someone incarcerated overheard him speaking about his son and was actually taken? All possibilities are on the table, Carrie, but however, Katie's still responsible for Sebastian because she was the last person to see him and be at his house, or he was at her house, sorry, and she was responsible. And her story just doesn't jive, which we're going to listen to next. So I just can't understand that. Seth has anger, but guilt, I don't think so. I can't believe he hasn't been cleared. Right. Yeah, me either. And I keep wondering what did he do? I don't understand what he's done either. There's a lot of people that are saying a lot of bad things about him. So I can't understand this. No, we need Katie to talk. Yeah, we do. All right, we're almost done with this, and then we're going to listen to Katie talk.
That Nancy Grace set up, and he passed that with flying colors. So,
we're out of time, unfortunately. Tony, I'm sorry I have to cut you off. We're out of time, but thank you both for joining us. We'll still look for those answers as the investigation continues.
All right, so that was it for this one, folks. I mean, this was short and it was sweet. We got out the information. There's not a lot of information now, but we are going to go over unusual details, spotting subtle lies, all that stuff with the fake interview. It's not really a fake interview. Just kidding. But I think Rosie thinks it's, or somebody said in chat it was a fake interview on the Chronicles of Olivia. What did I do with that? Dang it. Hold on. Let me look that up real quick while you guys chat away. Lady, he was cleared. All right. Yeah, this just doesn't. You guys need to chime in on this with me, because we did a lot of this with Deception Detective. We've had multiple interviews that we've gone over, and we just don't understand where Katie's coming from, how she's so cold, how there are unusual details in this. We got unusual details, spotting subtle lies. We got reticence. I don't know if we have changing tenses, but we have weird explanations or unusual. So, all right. Lady Justice says Vinnie Politan also did his own analysis on his YouTube channel. It was good. Well, that is good. I did not hear that one. I might have played it, but I do want to do my own with some of the explanations. And liars tend to offer explanations for why things happen, revealing their insecurity and expectation and disbelief. In contrast, honest individuals usually will present facts. Now, I need you guys to see if you think that she's being straightforward, or they're allowing the truth. They're not allowing the truth to stand on its own, in my opinion. But do you think they're being straightforward? What do you think? Thank goodness, Jay, you don't cut us off. Who cuts you off, Rosie? Who cuts you off? Tell me who did it. Tell me who did it. Come on. Put them up. All right. Liars baffle like potato does. Right. I just want to know. Okay. The behavior panel also said there's no deception on Katie's part. I find that hard to accept. And so do I. Why don't we listen to this ourselves? Number one thing I catch without even hearing anything. All right. I'll tell you what I catch is that Sebastian is 15 years old, and look at that picture she's about to present to us. So the first picture there is him looking, I'm not going to say that, but he looks way too young in those pictures. He doesn't look 15. The one without glasses, he looks he just looks younger, and he doesn't look, they're not presenting him in the way that I would want them to. Liars have so many tells, right? All right, check this out with this interview. Look at Sebastian. He's not 15 there. Katie also has no emotions like the potato. Carrie says, I wonder if there'll become a law even for parents who are responsible for kids, or their guardian will be required to mentally be evaluated. I wish. I don't think they're going to spend that money, though, Carrie. They let people pop. They let women, girls, people pop. We'll say ladies pop children any way they want. So I'm not sure they will, but look at those pictures of Sebastian. That is not a happy, healthy 15-year-old. That looks like he's like 9 or 10. And Look at this one. What is that? Why is she presenting those pictures to us?
Hasn't been seen since.
Although he doesn't like to be dirty, it's kind of funny because he also doesn't have awareness, because if you look, he's got chocolate milk on his face because he didn't wipe it off at breakfast. It's funny, like.
So is she pointing out his chocolate milk because he didn't wipe it off for breakfast to like kind of shame him? Or is she doing that because she feels embarrassed that he took his pictures and he had chocolate milk and she didn't catch that? I'm confused a bit. Like I just don't understand. Yeah, Katie does look weird, but she also is it's weird. She pulls out a current pic now, but the first thing she does is talk shit about his chocolate milk stains and said, man, I just missed him. I miss him so much. Sebastian, I want you to come home. So weird. Yeah, just weird about the pics. All right, let's listen because it's just, I don't understand.
That.
Can you recap the overall story of Sebastian's disappearance? Kind of walk through that day.
Sunday, the day before he went missing. We got up and, fun fact, I made breakfast that morning.
Oh, sorry, folks. It's hard to hear this lady.
We had a good time. We were laughing. We were joking.
Fun fact, guys, she made breakfast this morning. Oh my God, she made breakfast. She's the mother of the year. I don't like that. I don't like how she's talking. It's like the Jennifer Soto when she says, just kidding. Ha ha ha.
He talked to family on the phone during breakfast to brag. We went and picked up our niece. I got a call and asked if I could go and pick her up, and I did. And so we went and did that, and we went to BJ's. Had a good time there. He ate a colossal popcorn.
All right, so I just want you to listen to the way she talks about him when she does talk about him. It almost sounds like she has like a resentment for him. He has chocolate milk on his face and he had a colossal popcorn. Like, am I making you guys laugh over there? Anyway, another bit of unusual details in this. So I want you to spot the subtle lies that she tells that you think that she's telling. Unusual details, like why are you telling us about a colossal popcorn when liars plan out false story ahead? Also the process known as scripting. All right, so let's see if they're scripting. They tend to be overly logical, bland, lacking unusual or sensory details. For the liar, this strategy makes a story appear to be more believable and easier to recall. All right, so the narrative will lack or give unusual details for no reason. I'm glad I have you guys laughing right now. Oh, man. All right. Unimportant details, right? Was she ever interrogated? No. That's what I want. I want her to be interrogated without Chris. Let's go send bait over to Chris. Can we go send some bait? I think, and I've heard this from other people before, saying if Chris and Katie split up, or if Chris went off, let's say we go and hire a sex worker to go take Chris off, and Katie finds out that he's cheating. Oh, she's gonna talk. She's gonna sing like a bird. So let's go and do that. Let's get the two apart so we can get Katie talking. Because if Chris is gone, I can't talk. She will stop the scripting and things are going to fall apart, in my opinion. Let's listen to her. Look at them looking into space, not looking at the camera, not looking up, looking frozen, and telling unusual details.
Came home to put groceries away because we bought snacks because, he's 15 and snacks. We went to the bowling alley. And then from there, we went to dinner. Came home. He took out the trash because that's his chore. He takes the can to the end of the driveway. About 9 o'clock, told him to go to bed. And he said, come out of his room where he was playing. And he said, all right, good night, Mama. Good night, puppies. Love you. And went to bed. He was doing something in his room because about an hour later I heard some noise and I was like, I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep. And about midnight, I got.
Again, I sense a bit of her being upset about something. I lost the word now. And thank you all for being here. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way in or your way out. Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate that. So Krista says military training keeps her looking plain. I'm telling you, looking plain is not my problem. My problem is her sensory details or lack thereof. Listen to how she skips. She went from this to this without any hesitation. Some people say this, some people say that, some people say she's immature. I think that she's overlooking sensory details and just going duh, 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 duh. I feel a scripting pattern and lack of details. It says a narrative that misses elements such as smell, taste, touch, temperature, pain, hunger, thirst might indicate that the story is fabricated. Listen to her duh, 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 duh. It's just it's too listen.
And I went to bed, and 6 o'clock I went to wake him up for school Monday morning, and that's when he went in here.
What was
to this
going through your mind at that point? Like, what were the feelings that you were feeling?
To censor myself. Holy freaking crap, this can't be happening. Where is my kid? Choice words were used. Like, where the F is he? I looked through the house for him because it was typical for him to get up and.
All right, I'm going to play it a little bit more, but it's just unbelievable. I have to pause it so much because every time she says something, I feel like the human factors are missing in her story. And she's just, duh, duh, duh. Where the F is he? Oh, my God. Oh, bothering me.
Come and rummage for snacks and things like that. And he likes to dip behind the, walls and watch, and then he comes out after I come back and he likes to scare me. But, after I looked, and I mean, mind you, all of this took place in like 1 minute flat. But I didn't see him in the room. I looked all over. I ran through the whole house. I looked out all the doors and windows, and I was like hollering his name. And I picked up the phone and I called my husband, and I said, I can't find him. And he said, what do you mean? I said, he's not in this effing house. I can't find our son. And I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood, and I drove over by the school, and he's already at this point I was like hysterical, and I was crying, I was screaming.
All right, folks, do you believe that she was hysterical and crying and screaming by the way she's talking about this? Or do you believe, duh, 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 duh? And I was crying, I was screaming, and I was hysterical, and I went and looked around the block, and then I came back, and then I called Chris. I have more emotion than she does right now. I'm just saying, scripting big time makes no sense. They don't believe what they're saying either. They know they're full of bull, right? Thank you, Kristen. What's up? Hell nah. Hell nah. Potato number 2. You guys gotta think about Jen Soto when you're listening to this. It makes no sense.
And he was like, three-wayed. He three-wayed law enforcement and was telling them like our son is missing and we don't know what's going on. And he was like, go back to the house. They're on their way. And I drove back to the house, and
she ran back. Drove. All right. So you know what? It's interesting because it sounds totally rehearsed. She gives no detail and then too much detail all at the same time, right? She gives no detail. She's like, duh, 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 duh. I did this. And then all of a sudden time, he has chocolate milk and he ate a colossal popcorn. And like the shit she says just doesn't make sense. Thank you, Holly S. I'm glad I am too. We have to make a spot for Sebastian and keep him in the light. And I don't think she's on the spectrum at all. I just think that I think that they're lying and this is scripted in my opinion. She also says rock at the beginning. She rocks at beginning, sways and rocks. Interesting. I didn't see that. I always do that too, but
20 days later, we haven't found him.
Yeah, I can't even imagine how stressful that is. And also, like when we were driving up here, like this neighborhood is so pretty and nice. And do you think, has he ever like walked away before? Or like has that ever happened? It's just No, first time.
He's not a child that wonders. He's not one that is
He doesn't have a history of being an eloper, which is common. And I have friends with.
What did Chris just say? He's not a child that. I don't even know what he just said right now. He's not a child that. Hold on. I just messed it all up. Hold on.
And was telling them like our son is missing and we don't know what's going on. And he was like, go back to the house. They're on their way. And I drove back to the house. And
Water.
20 days later, we haven't found him.
Yeah, I can't even imagine how stressful that is. And also,
she looks stressed out, folks. Now, when she says how stressful it is, he stares this lady down and she looks off to the side. I don't see stress at all.
like when we were driving up here, like this neighborhood is so pretty and nice. And do you think, has he ever like walked away before? Or like, has that ever happened? It's just no, first time.
He's not a child that wonders. He's not one that is
He doesn't have a history of being an eloper, which is common. And I have friends with children on the spectrum who do struggle.
Now she's going to talk about him being on the spectrum, even though she doesn't use his name at all. You say that Tater Tot has vile things about Sebastian, makes me disgusted, right? Hello, Crystal Burns. What's up, Gen X 71? Guilty.
With elopement with their children, but no, Sebastian, that's one thing. It's always been a blessing. He's not been an eloper or a runner. His primary areas are like social and emotional dysregulation issues and things like that. But he's very smart. He's functional. Overall, he's a pretty happy kid. I mean,
So she definitely had to throw that in about him being autistic. Now, the Ice Princess says Katie is her own woman. She is not controlled by Christopher, ever. Now, I wonder if that's sarcastic or if you're being serious, the Ice Princess. Please tell me in the chat. Crystal Burns, you missed a little bit, but you can go back on the replay crew. We're still here talking together.
he's a teenager. He's coming into his hormones. He's angry that he's growing a mustache. But for the most part, he's a happy kid. And
again, she has something to say that seems kind of negative. Her connotation of it seems negative.
What are your theories? Like, I'm sure your mind has thought of every possible thing that could have happened, but is there any theory that you can talk about that you think?
What I can tell you is with all law enforcement, with everybody that's involved, there's nothing that's been eliminated. Everything is on the table. Everything is being looked at from every possible aspect.
Everything from he got out and walked away and was outside of the search radius before we started searching to the worst. And
that's currently where we're at. I mean, it's...
Yeah. Really trying not to go down that road because we're going to find him.
Speculating causes problems. Assumptions cause issues.
She did get a little emotional there. I'll give her that. She definitely got a little emotional when she says they're gonna find him. I wonder if she was thinking they're gonna find him and she was thinking of where he is or what happened to him when she said that. So it's very interesting. Yeah, I don't know who would talk so calm. We definitely don't. We don't. Hopefully, are never in that predicament. And she should be a suspect, but there are no suspects because this has not been ruled as foul play. I don't believe what they say. I don't believe they say. And yeah, I'd like to know if Ice Princess knows the family or knows more information than we do. I'd love to know that because I'd love Katie to speak out more. She almost looks like she's being held hostage right now. So if she is her own woman, why is she acting like she's being held hostage by somebody? Like we say, blink twice if you need help.
And based on facts of what everybody knows right now, there's nothing and everything is still on the table to being looked at.
You just know he's out there somewhere.
You do know he's out there, I bet.
One other question I have is recently Channel 5 in Nashville, they had security footage that showed 2 flashlights the night he disappeared. Is there anything?
Right. So even though she's not swaying like Jen Soto, folks, she's now playing with the picture on the table. So she's still fidgeting and doing something. So does that show a sign of nervousness? And Ice Princess, you say, I do know the family. Okay. All right. So I wonder if you have an opinion about this, what you think. I mean, do you think that he left, took off with some friends? I would love for them to find him. We're here to support Sebastian and his family and keep his name in the spotlight, keep his face in the spotlight. All good things about Sebastian. So, yeah. Is either of them a suspect? I don't know about the case. Nobody's a suspect because they didn't rule foul play. Sebastian went missing one night, and that was it. Nobody ever saw him again. Now they're talking about the flashlights.
That you think about this video, or?
Sure. So there's a lot of speculations about that video that are floating on the internet. Okay. And that is exactly what it is. It's speculations. Now, what it can give you an official statement on is TBI Newslink has released a statement from law enforcement, between local law enforcement, state law enforcement, some federal law enforcement, and they have analyzed that video so many times over that everything that everybody is trying to assume is a flashlight, I hate to say this, it's not. As much as we would love it to be one, it's not. I'm not going to go into details as far as where that video is shot from.
Why not?
I can tell you, as the parents, we have seen the video firsthand from law enforcement. We know exactly where it was taken from. And nothing that is being assumed right now is actually true about that video, unfortunately.
I wonder if that's something that they're suspecting, or the person that they're suspecting, or why they wouldn't say, hey, you guys are just barking up the wrong tree. This video was taken from here. It's not flashlights. Let's get over that and move on. Here's what it is. It was the neighbor, and they were out there moving their trash cans because it was trash day. Why not just say that? I don't understand. But then again, I'm not in law enforcement. Vicky says she might have got emotional because if someone found out what happened to Sebastian, that will happen to her and Chris. Right. Or she was thinking about where he was and what would happen. What is she acting? Why is she acting so submissive? Or no, you're not imagining it. Now that we're doing all these analysis of the parents that are possible suspects, it's hard not to notice this.
Okay.
And anything about any other videos or anything like that, please refer to the TBI news link that they have out there, the updated Amber Alert stuff. And it will give you the most up-to-date information that all law enforcement has. And they will give you current as far as what's what and how they're looking at things.
And if there's any new video, forward it to them.
Please.
Yeah.
So that's a very impersonal statement, in my opinion. I think Sebastian is her only child. I didn't hear about him having brothers and sisters. Very impersonal statement. Well, forward it to the police and follow the police website. She's very fidgety and very like same as Jen Soto. He could have not had the flashlight because Chris made Sebastian throw stuff in the garbage because he didn't have his room clean. Yeah. Somebody had flashlights or car lights or something. Are they LDS? I think the women are taught to be submissive. All right. Ice Princess says, unfortunately, it is believed he left on his own. It's not known whether he left at someone's behest or because he did not want to live with his father. Interesting. But Christopher and Katie had no involvement. All right. I wish the police would rule them out. And thank you for that comment. I appreciate that. No foul play equals someone's no someone they know or them, in my opinion. No foul play means that maybe he just wandered off.
Security footage is really like a game changer. We're working on Riley's strain and trying to find like if someone missed one on a corner or something. So that's
around this neighborhood, and this whole community. I mean, I can tell you that much here. When it comes to the cameras, there has not been one person that has said no. And trust me, it is greatly felt that everybody has been so open, so helpful in pushing out any which way they can. I mean, there's been some families that have actually been on vacation.
And trust me, when you say trust me as a potential suspect, I don't trust you. Just saying. All right. I'm telling you, this is full of foul play. Right. Maybe the cops just don't want to say that. Maybe the police want to keep something behind their sleeve and not reveal too much.
They weren't home, and they got information. They got permission from that family to take a look at their cameras and go in their houses without them even being present, which has been amazing. So, but yeah,
that's good. If there was something that you could say to Sebastian if he was listening, what would you say?
Oh, God. That if you can see this or hear this, that we just want you home, baby, and we love you. And there ain't nothing gonna stop us from coming and getting you and bringing you home.
I can't speak for his father, but I'm pretty sure we all have the same opinion that we love you, miss you, we want you home. And if you can, call us, get wherever you can.
I wonder why Chris didn't speak for himself, folks. Why did he have to speak for Seth? Why didn't he just say from me? Or not even say from me, just, hey, Sebastian, buddy, we want you home. Like, call us if you can, if you see this, if you're just hanging out, man, we love you. No. Too many red flags.
And let us know, and we will come get you.
Call 911, run out into the street, go in public, anything. The signs that we've been blessed to have family, friends, and even some in the community that have been helping us, but we've been out spreading those as far as we can, even over state lines, trying to get awareness because, not everybody knows that he's missing, and there's a chance that if someone can see him and not even realize who he is. So we want to get his face out there because we want him home.
Surprisingly, even locally, there are some folks that don't even know what's going on, and it's kind of like a shocker. Like, how do you not know? It is amazing because in the past.
And this is why I want to listen to this again, Adam. After 5 months, listening to something again will give you a different view of something, a different opinion. So if you think that they really believe he took off and they sound like it, there you go. Then I really just want to get justice or find Sebastian or not go cold. This case not to go cold, as it seems that it has been, and his father said he wants to contact the cold cases. So it's not just me saying that. Bye, Lady Justice, Lady for Justice. But no one knew if Chris and Katie had involvement. You can believe it, but no one really knows. Yeah, we don't know. We're just keeping Sebastian out there. And in the latest news, they play portions of Katie, and so I wanted to play this for you. You can't even say anything. You had to think about it. Right. And Veronica, see, we have a split room. I think they do know. Oh no, maybe it's not split. Adam says one thing, Ice Princess says another, Tech Bird says another. He went missing Tiff Knox the same day that Maddie did in February, on February 26th.
Last couple of weeks, you've got 2 cases. A 15-year-old boy that has vanished without a trace. You've got a 22-year-old 6'4" or 7" college kid from Missouri who has vanished without a trace. Like, that's a huge significance here. That
Why are you bringing that up in your son's or stepson's missing case? That's my thing. Is I don't understand that why he would bring up some other kid and throw us off to be looking at some other kid. Techbird says the deceptive change of octave from both when pleading volume up, when talking about the games, the plea is soft and volume down. Thank you, Techbird, for saying that. I appreciate that. These interviews make me vape like I'm MF. Yeah, me too. Diversion. All right, let's listen. I don't know why. Yeah, diversion. He's diverting us to someone else's case.
it's like, wow, how? So
It's scary.
yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the college kid is from Missouri, I think.
Yeah, Missouri.
I can only imagine what his family's going through.
Yay.
It's like your worst nightmare come alive.
Do you guys receive hate
That-
on the internet?
Yes, and it's ongoing. It's every single day. People are people, and they have their opinions. Everybody is formulating their idea of what's going on and who's guilty and who's not guilty because they want to know or they feel they need to know. There's a difference. Unfortunately, what I will tell you is that when you're the family in this position and you're working with law enforcement and everything's going the way it goes, people.
I feel like he pointed out the other missing scenario because either A, he's trying to say, oh, maybe the two cases are connected, or he doesn't know, he can't put his own feelings into Sebastian and say, oh, I really miss him and it's scary. So he puts his feelings onto the other case to imagine what someone else is feeling about it. I don't know why he does that. I don't know. I'm still here, Jay. Did you want those videos I saved? I'm not sure which videos, but send them over to me. I'm sure I want them. If you have some videos for me, send them to guiltyofcrime@gmail.com. Yeah, he's calling out YouTube crime or crime, true crime YouTube too. Weird.
Automatically assume this parent or that parent. And in this situation, I can promise you, every single parent has been vetted. I can't go into details, but I can tell you we have been vetted and we have been cleared of all possibility of wrongdoing, foul play. There's nothing to that. We've heard all kinds of stories.
I pretty much don't even go online anymore at this point.
I, on the other hand, I do go on and I do talk to these folks and I want them to understand they have this formulated opinion on who we are, not who we truly are. They've never met us. We've never crossed paths with some of these folks. But I have told them online, if you want to know, just ask me. I'll answer your questions to the best of what I can. There are some things that I cannot give you because law enforcement has dictated that we are not to provide certain information. But I will try. I am direct, I am brash, but I am very respectful. So if you have questions.
So after this, he's not very respectful. And many times after this, there's a lot of things that happen. And we won't get into the drama part, but there's a lot of things that happen on social media where people are lying and fighting. And it's crazy. Wow. Talk to these. You say, wow, you talk to these people. Your hate resembles smart mouth, pure evil. What's up, Storm Caddy? How you doing? I hope you're enjoying today's live, everybody. Don't forget to hit the like, all right?
Questions, ask. I'll give you what I can. Just be respectful, please. And keep in mind, there's 3 parents and there's thousands and millions of people out there that may have a question. We are trying to get to them. I promise you.
How has your guys' life been affected by that? Like, I know that's a broad question, but what's like when you wake up in the morning, what's it just like?
Miserable, to be honest with you.
Think of it like this. You wake up every morning and your routine is what it is and you know it, right? Now wake up when this happens and you can't figure out what to do. You struggle every single day on trying to.
Is he talking about him or Katie? I'm a little confused. Without any evidence, they can't suspect or clear anyone, right? There's nothing, folks. We know what kind of people you are. Lies. No, please lie to us. Oh, I love that. Do you want me to tell you the truth or do you want me to lie? You may think you're so high and mighty. You're the only person advised by Ellie. All right, now Katie's fidgeting with something and they're filming her.
Get out of the bed to deal and face everybody's negativity, you know, and you try to make it a positive thing.
Or the fact that my son's still not home.
You know, we have a bedroom that's empty that is never normally ever empty, except for when he's with his dad every other weekend. So now we have a child that's missing. So there's no words to describe.
You just described a bunch of words, Chris, and you also said it's never empty. Well, except sometimes. That's what he said. I don't know why he's doing all the talking. He wasn't even there. He hasn't answered anything, and he's giving. I don't know. I really, truly wish I knew.
But I can just tell you, it's like you get up and now you don't know what to do.
Sebastian's parents also talked about how his actions and behaviors could be different, or how he would respond in a new environment.
Well, that's kind of tricky because Sebastian hasn't been on his medication in 20 days. So he is rambunctious. He's going to be hungry. He turns into a bottomless pit. I mean, he's your teenage boy, you know, always hungry. On the spectrum, yes. But not one autistic child in this world is like another one. What we can tell you is he's smart. He can be goofy. He kind of has issues with personal space. He hasn't mastered.
He can be
up in your face kind of kid.
He can be aggressive if he's upset.
Yeah. He's emotional. He's a teenager.
So I wonder if he. Oh shit! Dang it! This is the second time I did that. I wonder if he got aggressive that night for some reason. I wonder if he was upset. He got aggressive with somebody. What did Tiff say? Oh, chaff and redirect. Yeah, very interesting, folks. I see they are playing with his toys. Right? Why are they doing that? It's just a weird interview, I guess.
Well, that's kind of tricky because Sebastian hasn't been on his medication in 20 days. So
I messed this up.
Rambunctious. He's going to be hungry. He turns into a bottomless pit. I mean, he's your teenage boy, you know, always hungry. On the spectrum, yes. But not one autistic child in this world is like another one. What we can tell you is he's smart. He can be goofy. He kind of has issues with personal space. He hasn't mastered.
He can be
up in your face kind of kid.
He can be aggressive if he's upset.
Yeah. He's emotional. He's a teenager.
He doesn't like punch and hit and throw, but he gets really like aggressive stance or like clipped where he just won't talk to you or, you know, if he's really upset, he like growls.
Yeah. Man.
Share, look.
Now they're talking about their son growling and he gets aggressive. So I do wonder if something happened. I wonder if something happened like that, or he, you know, Adam says it almost seems that they are they are really believing he's alive and out there. And when he's talking to him, it's almost like he's really feeling happy to talk about it, not in a bad way. Interesting. That's an interesting perspective. Yeah, I don't know if she was afraid of him, but it sounds like there were some kind of issues in the house. Seth was going to take him. He was supposed to get him after that weekend, folks. So I don't know. I don't know what issues they had, but kids don't go missing. So if it's not them, who is it? Who do we blame? Who do we blame? Who's responsible for him? He was in the room that night. She saw him last, supposedly. Who's
Be vigilant. You know, and we don't expect everybody to stop what they do and spend every waking minute. But you would be surprised on how easily people are complacent and not realize certain things. We're all guilty because we're all human. We all live a daily life. But sometimes just being a little bit extra vigilant.
Aware of your surroundings in case there's something suspicious.
You never know. But don't ever stop is all we ask. Please keep looking, keep searching. Anything, reach out. You know, doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely, keep his story in the spotlight, and all it takes is for one person to see something or know something, and that's just that one clue.
The old saying, see something, say something.
And a few others, but we're working with everyone we can. And taking, like, some people have been kind and reached out with resources that I didn't know were out there, and I've reached out to all of them. Truckers Against Trafficking, we reached out to them just in case.
Biker world, that's one thing everybody has in common is their love for a child. And they
well, what about you, Chris? This is driving me nuts. And yes, Sue, thank you for gifting the 5 Guilty of Crime memberships. We're almost through this together. This is driving me a little bit nuts. This case does as well. I just want, I didn't want this circus to happen. When I first started covering this case, I was hoping that we'd go in a better direction, and it hasn't. Again, I probably won't cover much on this because nothing's happening, but his 6th month of his disappearance is coming up on the 26th in 4 days from now, and I wanted to put him in the spotlight.
You can't stand to see children missing, hurt, and it doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter what group it is.
Yes.
That's one commonality between every group. And that's why, as a part of being in that world, we go and we utilize our brothers and sisters to help spread that word. You'd be surprised on how easy it is to spot somebody. The biker. So,
how can people help?
This community, I'm gonna tell you right now, far and wide, multiple communities, counties, various people, some people in other states reach out either through social media, in person, but everybody is searching. They've looked. They're constantly looking. They're constantly giving us ideas. Hey, check this. What about this? All of that is great.
Report anything that could potentially, even if it's little.
It doesn't matter what it is. However, what we can ask is that instead of people assuming and trying to put negative out there, just try to stay with the facts and report all the things that are positive. Any ideas that may help. Trust me, all law enforcement are available and they are looking at everything.
And I wonder if they have questioned them separately. I don't know about interrogating them just because it hasn't got to that point. But yeah, question. They should question them separately. I wonder if they have. All right, we're almost through. Hit the like button, y'all.
Sebastian Rogers is still missing. If you know something, say something. Chronicles of Olivia.
All right. Awesome. All right, folks, we made it through, and I didn't give you much notice, but you guys still made it today. This was it was a news story. It wasn't a documentary. This was on YouTube, and that's the channel, The Chronicles of Olivia. And it's just her giving an interview, and I thought it was one of the many that we got to see and analyze. So I thought I'd show that because Vinnie Paulton showed that on his news story 4 days ago. So interview is what you mean, right? It's an interview. I'm looking at Adam's message, and it says, was this a news story or documentary? It's an interview. It wasn't a documentary. All right, folks. You're welcome. And you say, Petty, I was on my phone earlier. I had to jump on the channel, get those videos for Jay. There's good info. Thank you. All right. It was YouTube, not a news channel. It was definitely on YouTube. And all right, Cheryl, you guys can go over and hop to Grizzly. I don't know if Grizzly is on right now or when, but it's Sue. I agree with you. And I want you guys to look at this in a perspective of what you think about Jen Soto. You guys don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. Randy B, I love you. I'm going to schedule something for tomorrow. Lots to cover. I'm just way, I feel like I'm way behind, and yet I still needed to cover Sebastian. So thank you all for being here. Hit the like, subscribe, share. I love you all. Thanks for your support, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty?